Good morning, everybody. Hey, it's Dr. Narvel, and I'm here for our St. Mary's Elementary School stakeholder meeting for our Title I program. Today is April the 25th, 2022, and we had several individuals who met in person for our program, but I wanted to offer this recording to our families who are unable to come this evening. And that way they can still understand what is going on with the Title I program here at St. Mary's Elementary. All right. So I am recording this, of course, as you can see, and we will continue on from there. So what's it mean to be a Title I school? Title I, Part A, it's a federally funded program. It's part of the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA. You may hear talk about the ESSA Act from time to time. So the purpose of Title I through the ESSA program is to ensure that all children have a fair, equal, and significant opportunity to obtain a high quality education. Okay. So as far as St. Mary's Elementary School, on any school that operates throughout the Title I program, you're provided an opportunity to have a designation status. Now, the designation status could mean multiple things. Priority or a focus school, as well as an opportunity school district, which they are identified for improvement, they receive their designation based on student achievement on statewide assessments. Fortunately for Camden County Schools, none of our schools currently have an improvement status. We are all in good standing through the Title I program. We have several schools that have been a reward school. And I know St. Mary's Elementary School was recognized back in 2018 as a reward school for their work with Title I. And as we all know, through with COVID, the way it's been over the past few years, we have not had our College and Career Readiness Performance Index listed to CCRPI, which helps with identifying what schools need that status change. So what does our Title I program offer? Well, first we offer additional teachers. Now, in the years past, this has provided teachers in the classroom as far as classroom teachers for a reduced class model. The past 2 years, we have used our Title I funding to fund a Title I specialist, an interventionist, so to speak, that works with our students primarily in our Tier 3. These are students that are EIP eligible, and they are serviced for EIP in the classroom in Tier 2, and they just need additional interventions. So our Title III interventionist works with our Tier 3 students. They work on a one-to-one basis, usually 2 to 3 times a week, working with specific skills that those students are having trouble with. Our Title I program offers opportunities for professional development for our staff. This works great if we can find substitutes to cover classes for our staff, which has been an issue for the past few years, primarily due to COVID-19. Other than that, we have to pay an opportunity to pay our teachers to work during time off, maybe on a Saturday or during the summers, in order to do some of our professional learning that way. Our Title I program provides for those extra time for teaching Title I students the skills they need. That's part of that Tier 3 that we talked about. And they also have a variety of supplemental teaching materials. A lot of our software that we use, for example, IXL is purchased through Title I funds, as well as ESGI for our kindergarten students and Lilelo for our first and second grade students. Some additional teaching materials that supplements students' regular instruction. When we're able to have parent volunteers and other volunteers in our building, we are able to provide them with some instructional materials where they can work with individual students to work on those skills that students have issues with. In addition, we also pay for contract service providers. That's, in our case, retired teachers who are coming back and working with our students, usually working in small groups, and providing those individual instructional opportunities for those students. Our Parent Resource Center is still available. When we start allowing parents back into the building to do volunteer work, those items that are in that Resource Center which is located in the middle of our building, will be available for students to be able to use, be able to check out, and be able to use at home if they need to. And if you're a parent and you need some materials, if you contact the school, contact myself or Ms. Halstead, we'll work to try to help find some materials that you can use while you're at home trying to help your child. So where does this Title I money come from? The federal government provides funding to each state. Okay, each state's education agency, the SEA, allocates money to school districts. So the states receive the money from the federal government. Then the federal government then the state takes that money and delivers it to the local school districts. Now the districts then just distribute that money directly to the schools with priority given to high need schools. So funds are ranked by order of the percent of free and reduced lunch at our school in our school system. And that's one of the one of the important reasons why we ask that free and reduced lunch form to be filled out each year. It helps us determine how much funding we're going to be able to receive through our Title I program. Our school runs about 52 to 54% that receive a free or reduced lunch. And with the free lunches being probably coming to an end after this school year, that'll be very important as we come into the FY23 school year next year. So what do we spend that money on? The school identifies the students who would benefit most from additional educational services. That's where we see our Title I, that's where our Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 students. Students do not have to be from low-income families in order to get Title I services. These are offered to any student, regardless of their socioeconomic level. The school sets goals and makes plans for improving the academic skills of all of our students enrolled in school, and then we also track students that we are using Title I funds for. The school measures student progress, and this year we used our MAP testing. Next year we'll be moving on to something different. Next year we may be using STAR testing and or the Beacon test from the state of Georgia. School develops programs for individual students based on achievement data. So that's where those small groups come into place. Whether they're in the classroom or they're being pulled by a contract service worker, we're trying to provide something for those students on an individual basis as much as we possibly can. It all supports the regular classroom instruction. Our parents and our families are super important in this process. You are a huge assist in the child's learning. You know that. You work with them each and every evening and every day on the weekends and then throughout the summers. So you are actively involved in the child's education, both at home and here at school. And you are included where appropriate in the decision-making process. And this is one of those opportunities to help in that decision-making on what we do with our Title I program. So what does the Title I program provide for families? It provides opportunities for parents and families to be decision makers in the development of the plans. It provides the parents and families opportunities to work in a partnership with the school, because most importantly, we want to be a partner with our families. We want to be able to work together, not just covering, taking care of behavior issues, but dealing with the academics as well. Every school year brings different requirements with the academic levels, and we want to make sure we're all on the same page so that our students can be successful. This year, our school had 3 goals. These are what we call action plans. Our first action plan was to increase our percentage of students in grades 3 through 5 scoring proficient or distinguished on the Georgia Milestone Assessment, the ELA, EOG. We wanted to increase that from 51% of our students up to 60%. It's a big goal, but we had a slight drop last year, so we wanted to get back to where it's supposed to be. The ELA, the biggest thing about it, the reading and the lexile levels, our students continue to work hard in order to increase those reading and lexile levels. An area that we continue to focus on and that we, to be honest with you, somewhat struggle with is the writing. And we are going to be focusing heavy on the writing in the coming years. Our second goal was to increase that percentage of students for the math EOG from 68 to 71%. Now, we don't have as big of an increase for our goal in math because we had a great increase last year. We had an 8 percentage point increase in our students last year, so we want to just continue in that upward trend. Our math instruction is doing a fantastic job. And then our third goal, we had a specific goal that we're focusing on third grade. Last year, we had 40% of our students that scored below basic on the ELA, EOG. A big part of that was the writing. And that's why we want to definitely decrease those writing percentages down from 40% down to 25% of our students. So some programs and supports that are in place. Well, one is our parent and family engagement plan. The parent and family engagement plan is available on the school website. I'll see if it'll let me get onto it here. Okay, well, it's not going to let me go off to it at the moment, but if you go to the St. Mary's Elementary School website and go to the Title I link, you can go down and find the parent and family engagement plan. This has been available all year long, so we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to take a look at that and then pose any questions. This will go into draft form for the start of next school year because of changes that will be coming in. So we'll need your feedback if we want to make any changes to the parent and family engagement plan. The same thing for our school and home compact. That school and home compact is simply a partnership, and it's an agreement between the home and the school. This is what we're going to do at school. This is what we'd like families to do. This is what we'd like students to do in order to meet the needs of the student academically. Okay, so again, we'll be asking all of our families to participate and join us in the school home compact. So what do you do to support the plan? It's the school's responsibility to provide high quality curriculum and instruction in a supportive and effective learning environment. We do our very best to provide teachers that are high quality. If we have situations in place that we have identified where we need to move somebody to a different spot for a different reason, we're going to do that. But we're not going to do that during the year. We're going to, do our very best to work with our teachers to, so they can provide the best strategies for your students in order for them to be successful. As far as for the parents and family, your responsibility is to support your child's learning. You are an advocate for your child. So that's what we need you to do. We need you to be an advocate. One way you can do that, monitor your child's grades in PowerSchool. Since first and second grade has moved to regular grading this year with regular numerical grading with a 70% cutoff for passing, it's so important for all of our families to be able to log into PowerSchool and look at your child's grades. They're there. Every time a teacher puts in a grade, it shows up on their grade book. You can sign up for email notifications, so you'll get notified right away anytime a new grade is placed into the system. We do year-long grading, so the recommendations is that new grades are placed into our grade book at least once a week. However, if you're working on a long unit, it may take a little bit longer than that to get a final grade put in or something of that nature. So just make sure you keep that open communication with your teachers so that they know that you're looking and you're keeping abreast of what's going on with your child's educational grades as well. Okay. All the curriculum here at St. Mary's all stem from the Georgia Standards of Excellence. So our ELA uses the MyView reading program, but it does not use it exclusively. It is used as a resource, as with many of the other items that we use in our classrooms. Everything that we use goes back to the standards that are required by the state of Georgia. Math, the same way. Standards required by the state of Georgia. We do not have a math textbook. We use different activities that the teachers plan, and they use examples from our standards in order to provide quality lessons. Our social studies in grades 3 through 5 use the Gallopade program, but everybody also uses our standards of excellence. Science, same way, all using our standards of excellence. So it's really that we're not following a specific textbook or something of that nature. I know there's things in the news about that. We just look at the standard, and that's what our teachers are using for the instruction. So our Georgia milestone, which comes up starting next week, this is for our grades 3 through 5. ELA and math are in all grades 3 through 5. Science is in grade 5 only. We do not have a social studies Georgia milestone anymore. Levels 1 through 4 is how they're scored. Level 1 is the lowest rating, level 4 being the highest rating. You know, in addition to that, how do we assess our students? We use multiple different levels and school formative assessments to provide information for our teachers. Those formative and common assessments help measure our mastery. And then MAP testing, as we use these past couple of years, help measure student growth. Just a reminder, our MAP testing will be going away, and we'll be moving to a different measurement for student growth starting next year. And more information will come about that. Just a little bit of additional information on the Every Student Succeeds Act, the ESSA. Again, St. Mary's asked for parental input concerning barriers that obstruct parents from participating in activities. So as part of the evaluation, is there something that gets in the way? What keeps you from working with your child? What keeps you from ensuring your child is getting an adequate education? What can we do to help that? Findings from this evaluation and survey opportunities provide the school and the school system with ways to be more effective in our family engagement. How can we get our families involved? What do we do? What do we do to revise that, to change it? And if necessary, we need to change any current practices that are in place. These strategies can be developed or adjusted in order to supply, to make sure our schools are successful and our family interactions are positive. So any information that you have, any suggestions you have are welcome, and we will take a look at that and see what we can do in order to improve the relationship between the home and the school. Parent and family engagement is an ongoing process. It's a constant communication with our families, and it's a constant opportunity for our families to be engaged in their child's learning. It's to increase that active participation, communication, and collaboration between parents, schools, and communities to educate the whole child for their achievement and success. COVID has done a work on us. I know. Doors have been closed. We haven't been able to offer parents an opportunity to come in and volunteer in our classrooms. We're hoping next year that will turn around. It still remains to be seen what's going to happen this summer, but I think the plan is in place right now to start opening back up and having those volunteer opportunities where you can come in and work in the classrooms and be a more visible part of what's going on at our school. As part of that parent and family engagement, this past school year, Title I survey, we did not get to send it out due to COVID-19. Current survey is going to be sent out prior to the end of this school year. So be on the lookout for that through email. And then some other parent involvement and engagement events that are planned for next year. We're going to continue our C4 events, bringing together our schools and the home, offering opportunities for parents to come out and hear what's going on in our classrooms. Of course, our PTO has continued to be functioning throughout our school, trying to still do events. We had our first social in 2 years this past week, so it was an exciting time. We're going to continue with our PTO meetings and events. We haven't had a school council for the past 2 years, so we're going to be opening that back up again. I'm sending out invitations to certain individuals that I'd like to see on our school council. Open house, start of next school year. It's a great opportunity once again to come into the building. Field day, we're going to have our field day this year, so we're asking for volunteers to come and join us outside, and we'll continue that each year. And our Happy Apple preschool transition activity, we have not done that for a couple of years, and we actually had our first group from Happy Apple come this past week. They came to the building and ate lunch, because as a 4-year-old, being able to walk through a lunch line and get a tray, learn how to open your milk carton or your juice carton, that's a big skill. So it was a great practice for our 39 students that came from Happy Apple the other day. So it was great to see them. As a parent and a family member, you have a right to know certain things. Schools ensure alignment of the challenging state academic expectations. As it relates to the high quality academic assessments, accountability systems, teacher preparation and training, curriculum and instructional materials, and parents are afforded meaningful opportunities to participate in the education of their child. That's the idea. We want you to be involved in what goes on in the building. And Your input is valuable. We need your help. We want to know what you think about this. So some different things that you can think about, the value and of contribution to parents. What do you think you need to be able to talk about? How do you communicate? How do your teachers communicate? Is it effective? Um, we want the parents to be able to work as equal partners. What do we need to do in order to do that? Parent programs. Is there something we can do to meet your needs? Is there a skill that you need at home that you're not able to, master to help your child? And basically, we just want to continue offering faculty and staff professional learning. So if you think there's a topic and specifically that you believe our staff would benefit from, please include that in your evaluation. So our Title I plan availability, will be, our current year plan is still in place. We'll be developing next year's plan. So that revised and completed parent and family engagement policy will be distributed to parents and family members and be made available to the local community. Once it was completed, it'll be available at the St. Mary's Elementary School website under the Title I page. If you need to contact us here at school, there's our school phone number at 882-4839. My personal email is rnarvel@camden.k12.ga.us. If you want to talk to Ms. Halstead, our teaching and learning specialist or assistant principal, mhalstead@camden.k12.ga.us. And then as far as teachers, to get in contact them, you can contact them by telephone, through email, or electronic communication. Some of you use Class Dojo or Remind. All those things are appropriate to use for email for communication purposes. If there's a complaint about the school and you come to me and I can't help you, go to the system website. There's a complaint portal. There's a complaint portal that you can address your complaint to. So thank you all for going through this with me. I will include a link to the evaluation page so that you can provide an evaluation for us. Thank you. And again, those of you that have worked with me, my door is always open as long as I'm here. And I'm willing to talk and try to work out anything we can to make your child's time here at St. Mary's Elementary School a successful time. Because once you're a shark, you're always a shark. And we want to make sure that is a proud time for each of our children. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a blessed day.